So India's relationship with Canada has hit rock bottom. The standoff may be diplomatic, but it will have wider consequences. I'll give you an example. Leading Canadian pension funds have invested in India. They have holdings worth billions of dollars in the Indian stock market. Will these funds have to pull out their money? And what about people-to-people ties? Reports say India is planning for all kinds of scenarios, including a potential shutdown of consulates and visa delays. Our next report explores these challenges.
India and Justin Trudeau are on a war path. The Canadian Prime Minister insists he wasn't trying to pick a fight.
As I've said a number of times, we are not looking to provoke or create a fight with India.
His Foreign Minister Melanie Joly too wants engagement.
To be clear, we're not seeking diplomatic confrontation with India.
But with India downgrading ties, any hope for a dialogue now seems like a long shot. How will this impact the India-Canada relationship? Some signs of strain were already visible. Last year, when Trudeau triggered the bitter fight with India, it had an immediate fallout on the trade relationship. India and Canada were discussing a free trade pact. The negotiations were immediately put on hold. Needless to say, it's now off the table. More significantly, Canadian investors may start rethinking their investments in India. Canadian investment funds are among them. Canada's pension funds and private investors have poured in at least $21 billion into India in the last 5 years. This includes names like Brookfield Asset Management and Fairfax Financial. For the moment, they seem to be sitting tight. There is no significant change in their Indian holdings so far. But with Canadian politicians suggesting economic sanctions on India, these investors wouldn't rest easy. A bigger worry are the visas. India has downgraded its ties with Canada and expelled 6 Canadian diplomats. Already, the Canadian mission in India was operating with reduced staff. Last year, New Delhi had demanded a reduction in staff from Ottawa. It led to the departure of over 40 Canadian diplomats from India, effectively reducing Canada's presence by 2/3. Will the processing of visas take a hit? So far, Canada hasn't indicated so. Reports say Ottawa wants to keep its consulates open in India, but New Delhi is preparing for a complete and total shutdown. Canada wouldn't like that because it would end up hurting one of its biggest source of incomes, the Indian students, those who want to study in Canada. Over 400 Indian students currently study in Canada, and they contribute millions to the Canadian economy. Experts are already warning about a shift. Reports say Canada could see a 20% fall in student interest from India. There is still a chance for Ottawa to avoid these outcomes. But with Trudeau on a war path against India, it seems things will only go downhill from here.
Firstpost decodes the U.S. election. Explains how America chooses its president. Your primer on the race to the White House. Everything you need to know about how America votes and its global implications. U.S. Election Explained, every Monday and Thursday only on Firstpost.